Gender Construction Through Play, A Lens of Queer Theory and Feminist Post-Structuralism, Poster Presentation. Occupational science views the individual as situated, existing in a specific and unique context within space and time, creating themselves and their reality through the occupations that entangle them with all things. Occupations are the vehicle by which a person understands themselves in relation to the world. Occupational science would benefit from considering play through contemporary theoretical perspectives of queer theory and feminist post-structuralism, as they provide a lens for occupational scientists to understand the enmeshed relationality between socio-cultural context and occurrences within play, providing a broader and more inclusive understanding of our conceptualization of the possibilities play creates for identity construction. Post-structuralism at its core is anti-essentialist and anti-foundationalist, asserting that there are no essential truths, requiring that we critically reflect on that which is considered tacit knowledge in society. Because tacit knowledge, transmitted in the form of discursive practices, is contextually situated, it will always be in a process of parallel change, construction, deconstruction, and reconstruction within the time and space it exists. These discursive practices are a mechanism by which power is transmitted and created in society. Discursive practices are not neutral reflections of society, rather they serve to strategically constrain and guide how society functions. These are often communicated through social institutions. Subversive discourses, normative standards eventually seen to be natural rather than constructed, are particularly effective in controlling behavior, as they lead to a form of self-observation in which individuals begin to monitor themselves to fit within that which they have come to understand as good and right. Alternatively, discursive practices may serve as a way to expose power and provide a means by which it may be challenged or opposed. Feminist post-structuralism analyzes the process by which discursive practices make individuals into gendered subjects. It does not intend to unveil the truth about sex or gender, rather it aims to question that which is viewed as stable and undeniable, gender being not something we are but something that we enact. Here, gender is not a natural or fixed thing, rather it is viewed as a function of power. It is through the doing of gender that power is allocated in society. Rather than objectively viewing agency as a fixed assessment of one's ability to act, placing value and legitimacy upon an unfixed and subjective relational process of becoming opens the opportunity for an alternative notion of agency. Here, agency becomes a recognition of the power of discourse, one's love of, immersion in, and indebtedness to that discourse, while remaining intrigued with the opportunity provided by it to generate new and alternative discourses and regulatory practices. In queer theory, it is understood that the normalization of heterosexuality in society has led to anything outside of heteronormative ideals to be considered queer, abnormal, or deviant. It is from this heterosexual dynamic of man and woman that stereotypes of gender are formulated, valued, and normalized, thus creating a hegemonic gendered power dynamic in society. Gender stereotypes would not exist outside of a heteronormative system. By using feminist post-structuralist theories of power, discourse, subjectivity, and language, queer theorists critically discuss heterosexuality and its role in the construction and performance of gender. Research based in queer theory exposes the instability of the tacit knowledge of gender within society and critically analyzes its associated power relations. Play, considered to be the primary occupation of children, creates a space that exists beyond the physical, a realm of endless possibilities, experience, and creation. It is in this space that children create reality, test their limitations, and make sense of who they are. There is no hard line of separation between the real world and the play world. They are entangled with one another. It is from the real world that children pull in ways of being, characters to model, and worlds to explore. Play also offers an opportunity for children to challenge notions set for them in the real world. Children are relational beings, and so construct themselves in relation to the world around them. They create just as they are created by the society in which they exist. Because gender is deeply ingrained into society, often with all of its heteronormative sentiments, children become aware of what society deems appropriate or deviant regarding gender, and they negotiate their behavior accordingly. Because play occupations create a space in which children create their identities, and we understand that discursive practices are constantly pulled into play, it stands to reason that children are constructing their gender identity through their play. They do this independently, through social relationships, and by observing and sometimes taking advantage of existing power relations.